The concept of free will, the ability to make choices unconstrained by external forces, has long been a cornerstone of human experience and philosophical inquiry. Yet, a growing body of evidence from neuroscience, psychology, and philosophy challenges the notion that free will is anything more than an illusion. In this essay, we delve into 8 distinct perspectives that suggest free will may be a mirage, a product of our cognitive biases and neural processes rather than a fundamental aspect of human agency. Determinism. Determinism, the idea that every event is determined by preceding causes and the laws of nature, poses a fundamental challenge to the concept of free will. According to deterministic principles, the trajectory of the universe, including human actions, is governed by a chain of causality that extends back to the beginning of time. From this perspective, our choices are merely the result of prior events and circumstances, leaving no room for genuine autonomy or agency. Neuroscience and brain activity. Neuroscientific research has revealed intricate patterns of brain activity underlying human decision-making processes. Studies using neuroimaging techniques demonstrate that neural activity associated with decision-making occurs before individuals become consciously aware of their choices. This suggests that our decisions may be predetermined by unconscious neural processes, undermining the notion of free will as a conscious, deliberate act. Libet's experiments. Neuroscientist Benjamin Libet conducted groundbreaking experiments in the 1980s that challenged traditional notions of free will. In his experiments, participants were asked to make spontaneous decisions to perform simple actions while their brain activity was monitored. Libet found that neural signals associated with the intention to act preceded participants' subjective awareness of the decisions by several hundred milliseconds. These findings suggest that our sense of agency may be an after-the-fact illusion, with decisions already initiated by unconscious processes before we are consciously aware of them. Behavioral conditioning. Psychological research on conditioning and reinforcement mechanisms further complicates the concept of free will. Behavioral experiments demonstrate how external stimuli and environmental factors can shape our choices and behavior. Through processes of conditioning, individuals learn to associate certain actions with positive or negative outcomes, influencing their future decisions. This suggests that our choices may be influenced more by external factors than by genuine autonomy or free will. Cultural and social influences. Cultural and social factors play a significant role in shaping our beliefs, values, and preferences, influencing the decisions we make. From early childhood, individuals are socialized into specific cultural norms and societal expectations that guide their behavior. Peer pressure, social norms, and cultural values can exert powerful influences on our choices, limiting the scope of our autonomy and challenging the notion of free will as an independent, self-determined process. Cognitive biases and heuristics. Human cognition is fraught with biases and heuristics, mental shortcuts and patterns of thinking that simplify decision-making processes. These cognitive biases, such as confirmation bias, availability heuristic, and anchoring effect, can lead us to make irrational or suboptimal choices. By revealing the limitations of human rationality, cognitive psychology undermines the notion of free will as a rational, deliberate process, suggesting instead that our decisions are often driven by unconscious biases and heuristics. Philosophical arguments. Philosophers have long grappled with the concept of free will, raising profound questions about the compatibility of free will with determinism and the nature of moral responsibility. Philosophical arguments, such as the problem of causal determinism and the dilemma of moral culpability, challenge the coherence of free will in a deterministic universe. While some philosophers advocate for compatibilist approaches that reconcile free will with determinism, others argue that genuine autonomy and agency are ultimately illusory in a world governed by causal necessity. Quantum indeterminacy. While determinism presents a formidable challenge to the concept of free will, quantum mechanics introduces an element of indeterminacy into the fabric of reality. According to quantum theory, at the microscopic level, events unfold probabilistically, with inherent uncertainty and randomness. Some proponents of free will argue that quantum indeterminacy provides a potential loophole for genuine agency, allowing for the possibility of choice in a fundamentally uncertain universe. However, skeptics contend that quantum randomness does not equate to genuine autonomy, as it merely introduces unpredictability rather than genuine freedom of choice. Conclusion. In conclusion, the illusion of free will emerges from a complex interplay of deterministic processes, neural mechanisms, cultural influences, and cognitive biases. From the deterministic principles of causality to the unconscious biases that shape our decisions, the evidence suggests that our sense of agency may be more illusory than real. While the concept of free will remains deeply ingrained in human consciousness and moral discourse, the insights from neuroscience, psychology, and philosophy challenge us to reconsider the nature of human agency and the boundaries of our autonomy in an inherently deterministic and conditioned world.